Hey, it's Zach. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, and I realize that part of that is because everything has been kind of smooshed up in my summer. You know, it's always a busy season for me in work, but also is a busy season for me in like play and family and all the other things I do. So, just to briefly recap, I had my busiest summer I've ever had as a real estate agent. Lots of showings, listings, blah blah blah, closings. It's like that stuff was great, and I put a lot of work into that, and so like that was all stuff from the spring and winter before it showing up. Still busy now, and I just got a text. And so the dynamite thing is that like I still got to spend a lot of time with my family and do fun stuff. I went on a trip to San Antonio for work too. But I had this idea about 3 years ago maybe, to separate the two sides of the Zach Shipley coin. So I had my Instagram account, the @ZachShipley, and I started a second one that was like all my work stuff. So that way the real estate feed wouldn't necessarily come into the main one, and the main would stay clear of real estate stuff. The idea being at the time that I was like doing more, I was trying to separate the brands to kind of do comedy on one side and have the real estate on the other, and both being equally important to me. So I didn't want to do a disservice to one or the other. And the thing is, it's an old saying, but like when you realize when you try to do two things, you end up half-assing both, and what you really got to do is whole-ass one. So I took a branding class this week, and that's when it like really clicked for me that I was already thinking about this. Like, I just need to collapse everything back into just my main Instagram account and just do everything there. And like, and same thing with everything else. Cause like, my whatever it's called, my TikToks, my Facebook, all my other social accounts and stuff like that. Like, some of them were just a blend of these two things anyway. And so it doesn't make sense to keep them separate for any kind of reason, other than just like I thought that the people who follow me for real estate aren't going to be interested in the comedy or other personal stuff. And really what I'm finding is it's like kind of the opposite, is that the people who follow me for real estate, like that maybe there was their initial follow, but it's not why they stay engaged. They're not going to stay on with me because of that. Whether it's clients or other agents or whatever. So I'm just kind of mooshing it all back into my one main account, and I think it's going to make more sense that way. Haven't figured out what I'm doing with YouTube just yet, but probably the same thing. So that other account, I'm not going to delete it or go back and privatize all the old posts, whatever. They're there. I'm tagged and stuff, whatever. Frankly, as soon as a post is more than 24 hours old, for the most part, unless it goes like crazy viral, you don't see it. Like, you're not getting post. If you got a post in your feed from July, you would say, what the hell is wrong with this? Unless you were searching for the topic that's in there, in which case I want it to be there because someone was searching for, the topic that's in that post. So because I'm keeping everything alive and active there, that account is just going to become the KW Geeks account. I'm on my way to the office right now to record another episode of the KW Geeks podcast. I've done two so far. One with my friend and coworker Lisa Pogo, aka Lisa Poglich, formerly Lisa Packard, and that was great. I actually recorded that more than a year ago. Or maybe exactly a year ago, and just kind of sat on it, like waiting for the right time to do it. And this seemed like it was the best way to do it. And then I did another episode with my friend Elizabeth Gassos from Dallas, Texas, who is another KW agent, and we kind of started this KW Geeks group, and with my friend Edward Leon from Orlando, and we're slowly growing that. I don't have I've got an end game. I just don't have like the path to it. So with the path in mind, with the goal in mind, it's a lot easier for me to kind of forge the path. And so the idea being that, like, okay, we'll have the Geek podcast, and eventually will come like a legitimate KW brand, and probably have to pay some kind of fee to that, the licensing. I've already talked about all that stuff with people, so it's just a matter of going through the process. I fixed the logo so it's the proper like hex code for KW's red. So like it's this red. It's the so I'm within compliance for branding, just kind of going from there to build that into something like a networking group, a mastermind group, etc. Because I'm part of a couple of these other things, and I've just been looking for one that I could lead. Like, what is my thing? On the disc scale, if you're familiar with this, I am a high I, which is the influential, and so like it kind of moves both ways. On the one hand, I am influential, so people do listen to me. I'm not acting like I'm an influencer. Like, I don't have thousands and thousands of followers or people. I can't shift mindset of people like a ton of people. But I have noticed that, like, when I'm talking to people or when I'm working with somebody like who knows me, they do care what I have to say, and I do have like a way about me that's kind of persuasive or whatever, and it's my goal to like never use that for evil. So just as an example, my wife and I realized that a friend of ours is easily influenced by me, and that he does kind of hang on my every word in a way, not seriously. Like, I could never make him do something that's like outside of his ethics or morals, but I said to her, this was years ago. I said to her, so he probably doesn't even remember this, even if I identified him, he'd probably be like, oh, I don't remember that at all. I said to her, like, this is a guy who had a minivan, and I said to my wife, it's like, I bet you I can convince him that he needs to get a sports car. Like, even though he has a minivan, picking up the kids and getting groceries and all the other stuff, all the things that a minivan does. I mean, and hell, minivan has a lot more utility. It's like practical, in a way. I kind of regret never getting a minivan myself, because anytime I need to move something that's bigger than a than a grocery trip, I'm like, crap, whose car can I borrow? So minivan has a lot of utility, and it's very and it wasn't as a good choice for this person at the time. But I said to Dawn, like, I bet you I can convince him by the end of the party that we're at, that just through conversation, that he needs to get a sports car. And he still picked something that was like within his personality or range. But he said, like, at the end of it, he was like, oh, you know what? When this car goes, when I'm ready for another one, or when I don't have to cart the kids around, I would like to get, like a turbo Mini Cooper or something like that. Just again, it's just at the end of this. And he's since bought another vehicle, and it's not a turbo Mini Cooper. But it was just funny to like kind of test that influencing out on somebody, and just to see how far I could kind of really push it. And I, again, want to use this for good. So I'm heading to the office to record this podcast, and this is actually with a new friend, Jamie. I've known her for only just a couple weeks. I met her in San Antonio during the KW Mega Agent Camp conference. I can't remember how, like, she was like in a comment or something like that, and like add her, text her, whatever. It's like, we're supposed to do some other meetup, and through the KW ADHD group or something like that, and then we hit off and just started, like, talking, walking around the convention center. We ended up having it was Monday night. We ended up having dinner together real late, and I get talking to her about, like, all of the stuff that she's done, because on her name badge it says, like, what city they're from. So for me it's like Milwaukee, and so people ask me questions on Milwaukee, but hers said Cupertino, and the only thing I know about Cupertino is that that's where Apple is from. And she has a Samsung phone, and so do I. So it was funny just to talk about that. But, like, I know that now I got another text. Where am I going with this? It's so distracting. So in any case, she lives and works out of what is ostensibly called Silicon Valley, and talking to her, she found out, like, she used to be in video games and has, like, this art background and all this cool stuff. And I said, oh, this is the group for you, the Geek Group, and you've got a really interesting background, so we're gonna do that on the podcast today. It'll be really fun. And I think it'll be a good listen. And I'm just looking for more stuff like that. The real estate podcast that is not about real estate. That's my tagline for it. So the great thing that I've got now is clarity on what I'm doing with my social media accounts and building the brand. And if I'm no longer dividing people's attention across two things, I think I'll have a lot better chance of getting their attention on one of them. This also has the knock-on effect of me maybe being a little bit more selective about what I post on a given day, which I'm already being that way anyway. So for instance, like, if I make 7 posts in 7 days, 4 or 5 of them might be on my main thing, and then 2 of them might be on the real estate thing. And so, like, there's always a day that, like, one account is not getting any love. And so this way I'm probably going to end up having like either 1 or 2 posts per day on my main account, and then the KW Geek account that my current work account is going to become, that can just be clips from our podcasts or reposts or other stuff. It doesn't have to be as carefully executed as my main one. I don't have to constantly think of new stuff on there. So I think it's going to be really beneficial. We're at 13 minutes, which seems like a lucky number for me to stop at. So thank you for watching, and gosh, I hope all this stuff works.